Hello. The following video shows the actual testing steps for GeoFoto pilot performed on the 30th May 2011 under the task 3.3 of BRIS-8 ICT PSP project. I will proceed according to the testing steps. The idea of the first testing step is cat.test.01. It is intended to implement catalog services, and according to this step I should open the GeoPortal, click on the data sources, on define a data source tool. On the left side of the panel I'm choosing the catalog server for web, and I should register the Integra BRIS-8 catalog server for web service that is already registered here, as can be seen. So this step is implemented correctly. The following test is intended to return a list of identifiers for corresponding features for a request expressed in a OGC query language. So I should search for the metadata for IGN dataset in the index of ignition. So in the toolbar, in the panel, search for data and metadata, I write down the search criteria IGN, and I received two metadata documents that are the name the same. This is because we have uploaded two metadata files for the fitted for the first dataset and for the fitted dataset. So as we can see here in the abstract of this metadata document, it is related to the island of Hvar, and we can see the file identifier of this metadata document. So this test is implemented correctly. Following test is cat test.03. It returns the associated meta information instances of features selected by user, managed by the catalog and returned by previous query. So these steps are the same. So I should search for the IGN metadata, select the same metadata document, and I can see that it is according to the ISO 19115. So this is implemented correctly as well. The following test is cat test 04. It should provide a mean to allow harvesting resources over the network. This cannot be tested at the moment as it's not implemented. So I will skip to the following test, cat test 05. It should accept an area of interest and time period in input parameters of the metadata. So the steps are following. I should open the GeoPortal workspace, click on the search for data metadata panel, and go to the advanced options. I should return the IGN metadata document, select the overlap the current map window, and assign date range as input parameter. So for year of begin, I will set January 2010. 14 and end date today. So this functionality should look for the all IGN related metadata that are created between January 14, 2010 and recent day. And it should recall all the metadata that are overlapped by the current map window. So as we can see here, it found the required metadata. So we can say that this function is implemented correctly. To see if this function is implemented correctly, we should also search for the same metadata information, but for some other time period. So we will set begin date to some more recent day. For instance, a week ago, May the 23rd, and we should search for the metadata information, and as we can see, the GeoPortal returned no results. Another search that we should test is location based search for metadata. So we will, for date range, returned the begin date on January 2010. But we will focus on the area where this metadata shouldn't exist. We will try to search for metadata, and as we can see, no metadata information has been returned. So this test is being implemented correctly. I will fit the data set again, and I will skip following test that should enable a search of distributed catalogs. This is also not implemented at the moment, so I will skip to the cat test 07 that should investigate if the discovery service is in compliant with the Inspire discovery service. So I will go again on the search for data and metadata. On search criteria, I will remain the IGN metadata, but on the application profile, I will select Inspire compliant metadata. I have some problems here. It's not going smoothly. Okay, now I managed to select it, and I'm searching. So I received the IGN metadata. Yes, but the important thing was that it allows selecting of the application profile for the Inspire. So this test is implemented correctly. The following test is should to test the support for the ISO application profile that should be created by the Briseida project. So this is also we are able to select this profile as well to get the metadata information in accordance to this application profile metadata. So the cut test 08 is also implemented correctly. Following test, cut test 09, should provide support for search queries with comparison operators. These cannot be tested at the moment as it's not implemented. So we are switching to the cut test 10. It's testing of the implementation of Portrayal services. We just want to see if the world map as the default WMS service is implemented correctly. So we are looking at the map content, and under the world map layer, as we can see, it is shown on the display, and all the layers can be selected or unselected. So this test is correctly implemented. The test number 11, support for time and elevation parameters. It is not implemented at the moment. So we are skipping to the test number 12. Testing of the WMS operations, get capabilities, get map, and get feature info. So in order to test this functionality, we should as well open the GeoFoto workspace, go on the data sources toolbar, select the define a data source. To the left side of the panel, select WMS. Select appropriate WMS service, for instance raster WMS, and as we can see, the request returned the URL, the layers that is displaying, the image format, the feature info format, and no SLD file is returned. So we can say that this test is correctly implemented, but the problem is that there is no SLD file defined. So the following test is number 13. You should test the support for the following SLD operations: get legend graphic, get styles, put styles. This test can be tested by putting the manual request in the browser. I will add the HTTP address, and I received the SLD image. So I assume this test is implemented correctly. The next test is number 14. It should allow loading and serving of at least following vector data and formats: PostGIS, ESRI, shapefile, ARC, SDA, MySQL, Oracle, and SQL Server. This cannot be tested with GeoPortal, so I will skip this test and go on the cut test 15 that should test the loading and serving of the raster formats. As can be seen here, formats that are delivered are PNG, JPEG, and SVG. So it is partially completed. The next test from cut test 16 to cut test 21 cannot be tested as these are related to the loading and serving of the SLD documents for vector and raster data, and for some dynamic substitution and parameters in SLD documents, the representation of attributes values related to geographical phenomena, etc. So we are moving to the cut test 22 that should return the image via WMS getMap response, and the request of the service shouldn't last for more than 5 seconds. So this link will be also entered manually. I have to copy it and I will paste it here, and in less than 5 seconds I received the request back, so this test is implemented correctly. The following test is test number 23, that is testing whether the users are allowed to access table of contents and switch layers on or off. So we will switch the world map layer off. We can switch for instance, some raster layers as well, DOF off, and add the aspect layer. So this test is implemented correctly. Test number 24 is related to receiving WCS response that should be entered manually. So I am entering the address and I receive in a while I receive something in return. I'm not sure is this what I had to receive, but this is probably the MIME type problem, so this is partially implemented and we can proceed to the following test number 25. That is also that cannot be implemented at the moment, so we will proceed to the test 26 that should enable users to add or remove layers. So in this case I will remove the vector datasets, and as you can see they are removed, so this test is implemented correctly. Tests 27, 28, 29 are not they are also related to SLD documents, so they are not capable of being tested at the moment. So we are switching to the test number 30 that should enable users to switch opacity of each layer. So as this function is not implemented on the layer level but on the whole dataset, the group, as we can see here, the translucency can be changed, so this is partially implemented. The test number 31 should allow users to export and save locally the context of the map as web map context document. So in order to do that, we should click on the tools panel, on WMC icon, web map context icon, export, as write an title for testing purposes. Geo should be keyword, and we will try to save the map context. Okay, it's blocked by the browser, but I'm able to download, I hope. No, the whole browser has to reload. We will try again. Yes, it's Internet Explorer security thing, so let us try again. I hope that it's set to the trusted website now, and it will allow us to download the file. Yes, so we are able to save the file in XML format on desired address. We will see. Yes, it's opened in the Explorer, and this testing step is implemented correctly. The following steps, 32 till 35, are related to the export of the KML and GML's S3 shapefile and GOT formats, and this is not implemented at the moment. So we are switching to the cut test 36, that is related to the change of the coordinate reference systems of the map. So we will go to the settings panel, and we will switch the coordinate system to sphere visualization EPSG number 3785. Click apply. We are waiting for a moment, and as we can see, we will zoom to the area of interest. It takes some time to load the Google Earth data, but as we see, they fit quite well. We can zoom it a little further for the town area. We can see that data overlap well. So this test is partially implemented correctly, because the requirement for the test is transformation in several others coordinate systems, and as this interface allows us only the transformation in one coordinate system, so it is implemented partially correctly. The following test is number 37, that should allow users to view metadata of selected layers, and this is the repeat of the GEOFOTO step that is already tested, and it is as well implemented correctly. So the last test that can be tested is the test number 38, that allow users to view non-geographical information associated to layers. So I should select the feature info tool and click on one feature, and as we see, the portal returned the attribute information of all underlying features. So we can conclude that this test is implemented correctly, and the remaining 6 tests are they're not able to, we are not able to test them at the moment, because they required support for the time and elevation parameters. So with this we are concluding this testing session, and goodbye.